Hello, I have a video showing how I replaced a couple boards in my laminate floor after my nephew accidentally dropped some soapy water on the floor and it soaked right in and warped the laminate flooring pretty quickly. And it got me really thinking about how I could potentially prevent that in the future. And I came up with a method that I think works really well. But I wanted to show how I do it and also kind of test it this way. So these are actual pieces from my laminate floor, like scrap pieces, and I just linked them together, a couple of them, just so that there's a nice join right here, because you've got the joins here, but then also right in the corner. And the corner, I think, is obviously where it's going to leak the most if you get water on there. Now, this method doesn't seal or waterproof your laminate floor, but what it will do is give you a much better chance of cleaning it up before it soaks past the grooves and in underneath, and then that's where it warps, right? The water gets in underneath, you can't get to it. You could probably try drying it, but it's just going to get absorbed underneath there really quickly. So this is some soapy water, and I'm going to pour it on here and see what happens. So let's see. I'm just going to pour it there on these cracks, just like there's a big spill. Ooh, it's already running to the edge. Don't run to the edge. Uh-oh. And it's gone all the way past the edge. So let's see. Okay, so let's imagine I was able to wipe this up really quickly. Okay. Now, let's see how much it soaked in. Okay, so it soaked that whole edge there. You can see, oh, maybe not, but I'll hold it up to show you. Oh yeah, so it got right in the groove, right in the corner, soaked past the corner there, and past the corner there. So yeah, so that wasn't on there that long, and I wasn't even stepping on it. If I was stepping on it, like say you're walking and spilled something, you're like, oh no, and ran over and tried to get some towels and then ran back over and stepped on the boards trying to get to where the mess was, you're going to move the boards are going to shift, and that's going to open the crack, and then that's just going to allow water to even seep in even more. So with the boards just stagnant like that, and however long it was soaking there, it kind of just soaked there, or it would have gone absorbed pretty quickly. So like I said, there you go. So it's gone right into the corner right away. Let that dry, and it will warp. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a heat gun and try to dry this off, because I want to use these same boards again after doing the process, which I'm going to show you. So I'll use a heat gun to try to dry these off, and hopefully they don't warp or swell. If they do, I'll grab some more pieces, but it would just be nice to use the same boards. Alright. Okay, so I tried drying those other boards, and unfortunately they actually started to swell up, even though I dried them right away. So I have more of the flooring, so I will test it on this stuff. Same thing, so I've got 3 pieces here, joined up here in the center, with a nice join there, and we'll just use this now. So it's the same exact flooring, just different pieces, because the other stuff unfortunately swelled up, and I didn't want to, influence the results. Now, I'm going to use the same soapy water. I actually have like a little bucket down here, so there we go. Exact same soapy water. It's kind of warm. And I'm going to show you what I use to try to help prevent the water from getting in. So everyone has some of these. There we go. This is the secret weapon. These are tea lights from IKEA. They're extremely soft wax, and they're extremely inexpensive. So you can kind of see how soft this stuff is. I broke off like a little piece and I could like mold into a ball. So if you pop it out of the container, then all you have to do is take it and rub it along the seam, just like this. And I kind of do this to the point where, just to kind of get it really into that groove. Now this is white wax. You can get these where they're actually more like a brown kind of color. So it kind of blend in a little bit better. And I'm sure some people say like, oh, this is that's a huge amount of work to do your whole floor, to do it like this. But I'll tell you something, if you're doing this, you wouldn't be doing your whole house. This is for like if you have laminate in your bathroom or in your kitchen, or maybe where you eat and you got kids and you're thinking, oh, they always spill everywhere and I don't want to have to deal with that. So don't think about that you'd be doing this on your whole house, but just in the areas that seem like you need it the most. So after you get the wax on there, then what you want to do is use like a microfiber towel. I find works the best, and then that way the microfiber just helps you like kind of buff the wax into those grooves and kind of off, so that it's not like so obvious that it's in there now. So kind of like buff it into the groove a bit just to help seal it, and then just wipe it off there just to blend it in a bit like that. So that's the whole idea. Like I said, this stuff's white, so it kind of shows on this darker flooring, but you can get tea lights that are just different colors, so that's not a big deal. I've tried doing it where I melt the wax and then kind of put the wax in, like thought I'd use like a paintbrush or try to drip it in, and seemed like a great idea, but it just did not pan out very well. So this definitely is the cleanest way of doing it. So there we go. Simple as that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the water on the groove, like right in the corner again. And now also you might think like, oh, if you're walking on it, it moves, but this wax is so soft that it should kind of mold its way in there. And this is not meant to waterproof your laminate flooring. The whole idea with this is to give you a much better chance of cleaning it up before the water gets underneath the laminate and then basically where you can't access it. If this gives you 30 seconds more time to clean it up, that could make all the difference. If that makes sense, if it was a matter of, a glass of water gets dropped on the floor and you have to run to the kitchen and get a towel and run back and it takes you 30 seconds, but that gives you the time to clean up without getting underneath, great. Where if it's something where you spill it on the water or spill the water on the ground, run to the kitchen, get back in 30 seconds, and it's already soaked in, you're out of luck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this on here, and like I said, I've just kind of smoothed it out in there. It's kind of underneath, and I'm just going to pour this water on here. It's kind of beading on the top too, which is kind of cool. All right. Stuff really wants to run off the end. I don't want it to run off the end. I want it to hold where it is. There we go. Okay. Stay water. And I'm going to set my timer for, we'll do 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 25 seconds. So I'll set the timer for that, and then when the timer goes off, then I will wipe up the water and we'll see how much has soaked in. It'll be interesting to see if it's a lot or not much at all. And like I said, you'll be walking on this and it will be moving and such, but if you the wax is so soft that it should work its way into the grooves and still do what it's supposed to do with the waterproofing aspect. So it should work really well. Even if you walk on such in the summertime, it should get kind of more liquidy, and it might actually work its way into the wood even a bit more, and giving it a bit more of that kind of not waterproofing but water resistance feature. So all right, so we'll let that go, and then once the timer's off, we'll dry it up and see how it looks. There we go. So let's try wiping this up. And we'll see how these boards look. Should be good enough. Look at that. You can see right where the groove was, right there, there's that little, I don't know if you can see it, a little dot. Right there, a little dot. That's how much water got in there. Let's try this one. Okay, so let's try and look here. Same kind of thing on this one, right in the corner, right there, got a little moisture. And on this one, maybe a tiny bit at the top here. Nothing got in the groove there. So yeah, there we go. Kind of shows how it is, and you can see the wax right here just kind of flaking off a little bit if I use my fingernail. There we go. So that's how I've done it in our kitchen and a bathroom. I went through quite a few of these because you use them pretty quickly. It's so soft, it kind of gets in there. But it definitely makes a huge difference. And if you have laminate and you're kind of freaking out about it causing a problem or warping or whatever, someone told you a horror story about how their laminate was ruined, then this is definitely a method that's worth trying. It doesn't take that long, it doesn't look weird, and like I said, you can get wax that's a different color, and it's gonna potentially save you a lot of headache. So it's worth giving it a try. You probably have these tea lights in your home, and like I said, it's not meant to waterproof, but give it more of like a water resistance. There we go. To give it a water resistance, give you a fighting chance to get that cleaned up before it ruins your flooring. So that's the whole idea. If you have any ideas or comments or anything like that, maybe you see this and think, oh, you know what? You could improve on that. Maybe use this kind of wax or whatnot. So if you try something or think of something that might work a little bit better, then for sure leave a comment, and I'm sure people would really appreciate that. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you find this educational, helpful in a way, and hopefully it saves you some headaches as well. And yeah, like I said, leave a comment if you have any other ideas. Thanks for watching.